The Battle of Salsu, which took place in 612, stands as one of the most iconic and strategically brilliant moments in military history, marking a significant point in the Korean kingdom of Goguryeo resistance against China's powerful Sui dynasty. This battle story is not just a display of Korean bravery and determination, but an everlasting lesson on how cunning and strategy can overcome sheer numbers and brute force. I'm Josimar, and this is Spectrum of History. In 612, Emperor Yangdi of the Sui dynasty was determined to expand his empire, and Goguryeo, located on the Korean peninsula, was one of his main targets. Goguryeo was a prosperous and militarily strong kingdom, one that had already repelled numerous invasions. However, Yangdi believed that with a massive, well-coordinated attack, he could conquer this defiant kingdom and annex it to his vast empire. With that goal in mind, Yangdi assembled an enormous force of around 1 million soldiers, one of the largest expeditionary armies ever gathered in ancient history. The size of the Sui army was both impressive and terrifying. With such a colossal force marching towards Goguryeo, victory seemed inevitable for the invaders. However, Goguryeo was led by Eulji Mundeok, a shrewd general and brilliant strategist, determined to defend his homeland at any cost. Eulji knew that facing the Sui head-on in open battle would be suicidal, so he devised a plan that would take full advantage of the terrain and Goguryeo's limited resources. Eulji's plan was simple yet ingenious: wear down the Sui army as much as possible by using guerrilla tactics and avoiding direct confrontations. He knew that the Sui's massive size was also their greatest weakness. Keeping a 1 million-man army on the move and supplied was a logistical nightmare. If he could drag out the campaign, the Sui would face increasing issues with supplies, morale, and disease. As the Sui began their invasion, Eulji ordered a series of guerrilla attacks and ambushes. He struck the Sui's supply lines, destroyed bridges, and used the rugged terrain to his troops' advantage. Goguryeo's forces constantly harassed the invaders, never engaging in prolonged battles, but always inflicting casualties and psychological stress on the Sui soldiers. This strategy frustrated Emperor Yangdi, who was desperate for a decisive victory and unprepared for a prolonged and exhausting campaign. The culmination of this strategy came at Salsu, a region where the Salsu River posed a natural barrier. Eulji Mundeok knew that the Sui army would need to cross this river to continue their invasion. He also knew that as they crossed, they would be vulnerable and at a disadvantage. This was when he executed the final blow of his plan. Eulji ordered the dams controlling the flow of the Salsu River to be closed, reducing the river to a mere stream. When the exhausted and demoralized Sui army arrived, they found the river easy to cross. Without suspecting Eulji's plan, the vast Sui army began crossing the stream, confident that victory was within reach. But Eulji was just waiting for the right moment to strike. When the majority of the Sui troops were in the middle of the river, Eulji gave the order to open the dams. Suddenly, a torrent of water surged down the river, catching the Sui soldiers completely off guard. The flood was devastating, drowning thousands of soldiers and creating chaos among the invaders. Those who survived the deluge were quickly attacked by Goguryeo's forces, strategically positioned on the riverbanks. What was left of the once mighty Sui army was either completely destroyed or captured. The Battle of Salsu was a resounding victory for Goguryeo, and one of the worst defeats in the history of the Sui dynasty. Of the approximately 1 million soldiers who began the invasion, only a few thousand managed to return to China. This catastrophic defeat severely weakened the Sui dynasty, which never fully recovered and eventually collapsed a few decades later. On the other hand, Goguryeo's victory at Salsu solidified its status as one of East Asia's great powers and cemented Eulji Mundeok's reputation as one of the greatest military strategists in history. The Battle of Salsu is still remembered in Korea as a symbol of resistance and cleverness, a brilliant example of how strategy can outsmart even the most powerful forces. For global military history, Salsu remains a lesson that numerical superiority alone does not guarantee victory. It's a reminder that intelligence, preparation, and adapting to the terrain and circumstances are just as crucial in any conflict. It also highlights the importance of morale and logistics in military campaigns, factors that can often decide the fate of empires. This battle also underscores the significance of local knowledge and the ability to use the environment as a weapon, something many commanders throughout history have neglected. with disastrous results. Eulji Mundeok not only knew the terrain of Goguryeo like the back of his hand, but also understood how to manipulate natural forces to turn the tide in his favor. This deep understanding of the environment and the ability to adapt it to military needs is what separates great commanders from merely good ones. Finally, the Battle of Salsu is a testament to the resilience of the Goguryeo people. Despite being vastly outnumbered, they refused to give in to despair. Under Eulji Mundeok's leadership, they faced one of the greatest threats in their history, and against all odds, emerged victorious. This indomitable spirit of resistance and the desire to protect their homeland are qualities that continue to inspire and resonate in Korean culture and identity to this day. So the story of the Battle of Salsu isn't just a tale of military victory. It's the story of a nation that refused to submit, of a commander who knew how to outwit brute force with intelligence, and of a people who fought with everything they had to preserve their independence. It's a story that deserves to be told and retold, not just by Koreans, but by anyone who believes in the strength of the human spirit and the ability to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. If you enjoyed this epic story, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing historical moments. Share this video with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.